Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Chris Montero, your host, and this week's episode is M is for Mailbox. We're continuing our series of ABC's A Death 2 short competition, where I interview the directors Dante and Rodrigo behind the short M is for Mailbox. It was my personal favorite short out of the competition. These guys are from Sao Paulo, Brazil. I got to chat with them over Google Hangouts, and so we talked for roughly about an hour about the making of this short, as well as the film scene down there, and of course their favorite horror movies and whatnot, and what influenced them. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. I found it was a great chat with them. I would also highly recommend their web series, Nerd of the Dead. It's a 4-episode web series on YouTube. Each episode is roughly 20 minutes. It's all in Portuguese, but there are subtitles, and it's fantastic. The pacing, the dialogue, I found it was fantastic for a web series. But yeah, if you guys want to follow us, you can go to facebook.com/panoramicmedia. That's pretty much where everything gets posted. We do have a panoramicmedia.com that we are still working on, as well as there is a dromezone.net that we're still working on. But at the moment, if you're looking to check out our stuff, videos, podcasts, whatever it is, definitely go to facebook.com/panoramicmedia. If you want to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, please type into your iTunes search bar dromezonepod, and you should see our logo there, as well as all the episodes that we have available at the moment. Because this is a free podcast, right now we're looking at doing maybe 6 episodes at a time, just because of the amount of storage that we're given on the website. And then of course, if the audience expands, then of course we will get into more episodes being available at once, and of course getting more episodes out to you guys faster. But anyway, thanks for listening, and I hope you guys enjoy this week's episode. Okay, guys, so welcome to the podcast. Today's episode is M is for Mailbox, and here I have the directors Rodrigo and Dante. If you guys want to give yourselves a little introduction.
Hi guys, I'm Dante. I co-wrote, co-directed, and co-produced M is for Mailbox. And
Hi, I'm Rodrigo, and I did all those things too. I co-director, co-producer, co-writer, everything. Everything's cool.
Right on. So where are you guys from? So I obviously, of course, know where you guys are from, but let the audience know where you guys are from.
We're from Brazil, from São Paulo.
That is awesome. I've never met anyone from Brazil before. Is it like so? It's 11 o'clock at night for you guys right now, right?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. And is Brazil anything like one of my favorite movies of all time? Now this could be just a stupid white thing of me to say, but City of God is one of my favorite movies ever made. Easily top 3. Anything like that?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yes, it all depends, from where you live. We don't live in a place like City of God, We live in São Paulo, and it's very different. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I definitely want to make my way down there sometime. First off, thank you guys for doing the podcast. It's really appreciated. I loved your guys' short film. To me, it was my personal favorite of the contest.
thank you. And thank you for inviting us to do it, this
Hey,
podcast.
no problem. I'm so happy to talk to you guys. So let's kind of get it started off. I'll just throw some of the questions out your way. So, actually, before we get started, let me ask, you guys made it in the top 12. How has that been going for you guys so far?
We are very, very happy and very excited about it.
Yeah, and we're also very anxious. I mean, each day that's been going by seems like a week.
Yeah.
Because, we can wait for the final announcement on December 15th.
We are freaking out!
Yeah, it's driving us crazy.
Have you guys been, now obviously your guys' short got a ton of views, and so since you guys made the top 12, has there been anything crazy developing behind the scenes?
Wow.
Actually, a lot of things.
So many things. Today, actually, we had 2 meetings with a Brazilian producer. He's kind of big, right? I mean, he's a big producer. He's investing in genre cinema in Brazil.
I think it's a secret.
I don't think it
I don't know.
Well,
But
that's
he's a good guy, he likes movies, and maybe we're gonna have a feature film.
Yeah.
someday, you know, in the next year, maybe we're gonna do a feature film.
That would be really awesome. I would totally be one of the guys buying tickets for that. That's for sure. So how did you guys meet? How did you guys meet and kind of start collaborating together?
We met in movie school. We went to movie school together. We were in the same class. That was what 6 years ago that we started. 6 years. 6 years ago we met. And I don't know. I mean, we've been working together ever since.
Yes, we are actually like good friends. You know?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's how me and the director of Monkey met, is because we met in film school as well.
Oh, cool.
So how did you guys hear about the contest?
A friend of ours told us about it. He sent us the link, and we had seen ABCs of Death 1. And when we heard about the possibility of like making a movie for the contest, we went crazy. The next day we were already writing the screenplay, like getting a crew together, and that was it. I mean, 2 days after we heard about it, we were already like making the concept and finishing off the screenplay and everything, going after like equipment, cameras, and everything.
Actors and
yeah,
it was like crazy. It was really fast.
Yeah, we did it very fast.
Did you guys, now the contest submissions ended on the end of October? When did you guys submit your submission?
It was around, what, I think maybe October 7th, October 8th, maybe something like that.
Yes,
October 8th, yeah, a lot of good ones started popping up around then.
Yeah.
So what made you guys decide on this idea, and how did that idea kind of come about?
Our first meeting, we had a crazy idea, which was gonna be Aims for Marriage, but we decided it was too expensive. We could never do it in such a short notice. And then we started talking to me, Rodrigo, and Rafael, which is one of the screenwriters with us on Mailbox. And we were trying to like find something that fit all the things that we liked, because Rodrigo is a major vampire fan.
I love vampire.
Yeah. I'm a major like Halloween movies fan.
Okay.
And we just sort of like made everything come together,
And we both agree that children are creepy,
Yeah.
Yeah. Now when people start thinking of the male, like the M is for idea, usually people start running down the list and hit like just various M words. Whereas the guy my friend who did Monkey, he literally was just looking in a dictionary and was like, oh, monkey, that could be funny, and kind of developed it from there. So how did you guys get the Mailbox idea while keeping around the I guess Van Helsing aspect to it?
We did
if that question made any sense to you guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
sure. We did that with the dictionary also, but after we were together, we started to brainstorm, and everyone was putting some ideas, but it was like, oh no, it's not that good. Maybe with that, and then it was like a joke, like it's gonna be Emmys for Mailbox, and the guy is Van Helsing. And we are like, oh, this is good.
Yeah. At first we laughed about it. I mean, we were talking about a kid invading a house on Halloween and killing everybody. But we were thinking, there has to be a motive, There has to be something else, something more solid about it. And then we just joked. We said, oh, the kid is a vampire, and the old guy he tries to kill is actually Van Helsing, and we show that on the Mailbox. Boom, Emmys for Mailbox. We laughed about it. And then, like, a couple of minutes later, we were like, fuck, that's good.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, that is good.
Fucking outstanding, we were thinking.
Yeah. So your your short looks amazing. I was kind of looking on your Facebook profiles, and I saw you guys actually shot on the Red. So where do you guys work for, like a production house, or how did you get your hands on that equipment? Did you just rent it?
I mean, we have a production company, but we don't actually have any equipment. But we know a lot of guys in São Paulo who work in like places where you rent equipment, So we were able to get a Red with a little bit of a discount, so it wasn't too expensive. Same thing with the light equipment, the Steadicam and everything. So that was
you guys got the whole deal, eh? That's awesome.
Yeah.
And were one of you then the? I know I was talking to the guys who did M is for Magnetic Tape, and they were a co-directing team as well. And
Yeah.
one of them was more focused on the tech side of things, like shots and stuff like that, while the other was more focused on the overall content. Would you say that's how you guys worked as well, or how did you guys kind of split up the directing jobs there?
We definitely didn't do that. I mean, we did everything together, 50-50. I mean, from directing the actors to like choosing the shots, everything basically.
Basically, it was like the problems they just show it, you know. And maybe I had some ideas, maybe he had some ideas, and we were like one helping each other.
Yeah.
For the greater good for the movie.
Yeah. Now, did one of you guys shoot it then, or did you guys have another DP then?
Yeah, we had a DP. Yeah.
And actually, is the screenwriter, Rafael. He's the DP as well.
No, he's the assistant director.
Assistant director.
DP is director of photography. Yeah, we had a DP. It's a girl actually. We've worked with her a couple of times. I have 2 other short movies, and she did cinematography on both of them.
Well, she is awesome. The colors that are in your guys' short are amazing, and there's one shot that I love, and I love it every time I see it. Is the shot of it's above the, I believe it's the maid has the bowl of candy in her hand and drops it, like super reminded me of Hitchcock, and I love Hitchcock. So every time that shot plays out, I love that shot. Okay, so your short had a lot of production value to it. Like, what was your budget, if you don't mind me asking?
No problem. When we converted to dollars, it was what around like $5,000.
$5,000. Okay, now where did most of that go? A lot of it, I'm gonna assume, went to a mix of effects, camera rentals. It looks like you got a lot of costumes in there as well.
Yeah. Well, most of the money I think went into the camera and the lenses.
Yeah.
And the Steadicam as well. Some of it went to the art department. Which was actually more focused on like buying the contact lenses for the vampire, and the costumes. The vampire costumes actually were the most expensive, I think. The actors, obviously, we paid them.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you paid the actors. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the couple of guys that I've talked to, and even on our short, like, we're dirt poor. Like, ours cost us like. I don't know. I think we didn't end up spending more than like $650 shooting our short, right? And then obviously you can see the difference in quality between a lot of the shorts versus your guys' short, because it's very cinematic, lots of dollies and all that stuff, versus mine in particular is a lot of handheld because we were just quickly running, gunning type of thing. But you definitely got your money's worth out of your short, that's for sure.
Cool.
So where did you guys shoot this? Is one of your houses, family house, something like that?
Yeah, it was my house. I mean, we tore it apart. There was blood everywhere, like on the walls, on the floors, on the rugs, the carpets, everything. But it was worth it. I mean, my family was okay with it.
Oh yeah, it's always worth it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's always good to have support like that. So how long was your guys' shoot? So what, about 2 days?
3 nights, actually.
3 nights. Oh, okay.
Yeah. 3 nights from like 7 p.m. to like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Oh yeah. Well, if you've never been on a set before, yeah, like it sounds like a long time, but yeah, when you've worked on sets before, obviously you got to get used to the long hours. But it's so much fun. Like, it's way better than any regular job, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
So how was the editing process for you guys? So you guys shot on the Red. So did you guys have to upgrade your computer at all, or did you guys have to borrow someone's computer to? Because that stuff is pretty heavy duty in terms of file size and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know. We usually work with an editor, and he has all the stuff for editing. I mean, he has a good computer, all the programs and everything. So I mean, it's basically like everyday stuff for him, you know.
Yeah.
And he's very fast. I mean, we edited in like 1 day and a half.
Yes, 2 nights for everything.
Yeah,
Holy
2 nights. Not very long hours.
Nice. That's amazing. Yeah, a day and a half. That's awesome. So obviously, because you guys got so many views, I'm assuming you guys got a ton of feedback on your short.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah.
You want to take this
What
one?
was some of the best kind of feedback that you got? And what was some of the most helpful feedback you got as well?
Actually, for me, it was like people saying that I would love to see a feature film from both of us, from both of you. It was like, this is a very good thing to hear, you know. Because I think that the dream of every director is to make a feature film. So it's good to hear from people that, oh, I would sit for 1 hour and a half and watch a feature film from you. This is very nice.
Yeah. For me, personally, I'm happy with that as well. But I was very happy with like being able to show like our work for people from other countries, you know, because everything we did so far, we managed to like reach a certain amount of people in Brazil. But it was the first time that we like had our work shown for like other countries, and that was amazing. And the feedback from people from around the world was amazing. We were very happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many views did you guys end up getting? You guys were over 10,000, I believe, right? You probably way more than that, right?
Yeah, I think right now we're like maybe 30,000 views.
30,000, nice.
Yeah.
It's by far the most viewed shortcut from us.
Yeah, that we ever did. Absolutely.
Now, I wasn't able to look up your past shorts, but is this a huge kind of departure for you guys in terms of your overall style and I guess aesthetic of the overall short? Like, for example, like when you go from like high school to film school, obviously there's a big clear difference there. Is there a big clear difference between your previous, like you could see that you're building up towards this awesome little short that you've entered?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everything we did so far, like before Mailbox, as directors, was good. I mean, we did some good shorts, but this is definitely like the short that we did that we look at and we say like, well, this is definitely our best one so far.
Our masterpiece.
Yeah. Now, what were some inspirations for your guys' short? So a few minutes ago, I mentioned the Hitchcock shot. I don't know if you guys thought of that or if your DP thought of that, but I just got super like Hitchcock vibes watching that. And there's a couple other vibes I got. I just can't point them out at the moment. But what were some inspirations for the short? Whether it was camera-wise, story-wise, etc., lighting-wise, even as something as simple as like a prop or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as far as vampire movies are concerned, our main reference I think was Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, because we wanted to get like a classical feel, you know, to this vampire. And as for style, a movie that we use a lot for reference, especially for the cinematography, was Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Trick or Treat.
Yeah. And also, what else? Some people that watched our movie, like when it was finished,
Yes, that's true.
said that it reminded them of the Hammer movies from like the 50s,
Hammer movies, nice.
60s. We weren't thinking about it when we did it, but now that we look at it, we look at Mailbox, we can see, you know, the resemblance.
Yes.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah,
so
we wanted to get like a very gothic feel to it, you know.
yeah,
like
well, that interview with the vampire thing you said, that perfectly describes it. Yeah, that kind of classical vampire to the big screen, not these crappy diamond-covered vampires that you see nowadays.
Yeah, that sucks.
For fuck's sakes.
So do you guys get a lot of American movies? You guys just dropped a couple titles like Trick or Treat and stuff like that. So do you guys watch a lot of American movies versus Brazilian movies, or what's it kind of like down there?
Yes, we watch a lot of American movies.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I always follow Bloody Disgusting, the horror website,
Oh, nice.
and I'm always up to date on the new horror movies that are coming out. And every chance we get to like see it on Netflix or like download it on iTunes or something like that, we always see them. So we're like very up to date on what's happening in horror movies right now, especially in the United States.
Yes, it's because in Brazil we don't have a lot of horror movies,
No.
And the ones that we have, we don't like very much. We think that it's an old thing,
Yeah. Yeah, Brazilian horror movies, usually, I mean, I haven't seen them all, obviously, but they usually feel very like, how can I say it? They feel, they don't have much of a visual concern, They're like very visually poor,
Mm-hmm.
You cannot see like a great shot,
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, look, the director eyes. You don't see those kind of things. It's kind of poor, really, to be honest.
Yeah, and they focus a lot on gore. They throw,
for sure.
yeah, they throw blood at the camera, and they think that's a horror movie, which is actually not. So yeah,
Yes.
I mean, as far as horror movies are concerned, we tend to like see movies from the United States, from France, from Spain, Mexico.
Yeah.
A lot of good horror movies coming from Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it.
That's awesome. So what kind of what got you guys first interested in film? Like, how did you guys kind of catch that film bug type of thing?
Oh, since
Yes.
forever.
Since I was a kid.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I already knew that I wanted to work with movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I never had any other like professional option for a career. I was always decided on working with movies. So I mean, it was always a very easy choice for me.
Yeah. It was like, I want to do movies. Actually, when I started in the film school, I didn't know actually what means to be a filmmaker,
Yeah.
But I want to do movies. I want to make movies. That's what I want to do. And then I discover everything. How does it work?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now, with myself up in Canada, I know Toronto is becoming huge. Like it was already big, and it's just becoming bigger. Is there a big kind of like mainstream kind of film scene going down there? Like, is it easy to get film jobs? I know with us up here, it's a lot harder to get film jobs if you're not in any of the unions.
Yeah. I mean, when you work with like some technical part of like making movies, if you're like a first assistant camera or like a DP or an assistant director or a producer, it's kinda easy to get work. I mean, but they always throw you back to publicity, to commercials. But for directors or screenwriters, it's very difficult to get like your movie started, because we depend a lot on government money, through like funds for investment in movies, and they usually give the money to very like lame movies that we see like in Brazilian cinemas. Brazilian movies like tend to be like romantic comedies or movies about like the social political situation, about the favelas, like City of God, stuff like that.
But not as City of God.
Yeah, not as good as City of God. So it's very hard to like write a genre screenplay and get it financed. It's very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys know about the film festival in Montreal, Fantasia?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a thing right now. I can't remember what it's called. I would have to send it to you guys later. They're doing a thing though where it's for international. They do an international contest where you can submit and try to get your movie made with it's like co-financing with Canada. So that could be something you guys could apply for, because I would totally love to see that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely.
And there's always, I know exactly what you're talking about with the government thing though. The same thing happens up here. Like Canadian movies, you barely see them in the theater, and every time you do see one, it's like, who the hell gave them money to make that? And of course, yeah, of course it was government funds, and it's exactly what you said. It's always like a light-hearted movie. It's never like an actual legit good dark movie or anything like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Is there a lot of kind of a film scene in terms of like film festivals and stuff like that down where you guys are?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah. Lots of them.
Lots of them.
But I mean, the same thing with like commercial movies, which tend to like go for the lighthearted comedies and like movies about political issues. Usually, I mean, not always, but usually, film festivals tend to choose like the submissions that are very like intellectual movies, you know, very artsy movies. Which there's nothing wrong about it, obviously, but I mean, there's not a lot of variety, you know, in film festivals here. I think that's something that happens everywhere, actually.
Yes, I think so.
But yeah.
I know definitely what you guys are talking about. While you were kind of interacting with everyone from kind of around the globe with your short, were there any submissions that stood out to you guys that you guys really liked?
Yes.
Yeah, some.
We actually love magnetic tape.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing. We were like, holy shit, look at this, guys. This is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the magnetic tape is awesome.
And another one was Emmys for Mito.
Emmys for Mito.
The Japanese one.
Yeah, that was ridiculously
fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I saw that one. I'll have to check that one out.
Emmys for Mito it could be the best one, I think.
Yes, in my opinion, it was the best one.
Yeah. I love Marauder, Emmys for Marauder, which is from the States.
It's very nice.
What else?
Messiah, Emmys for Messiah.
Yeah, Emmys for Messiah, which is from Canada as well.
Yeah, that one was awesome. That one was incredibly well shot as well.
Yeah. Emmys for Matador, which is also from Canada.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one either.
Yeah, it's awesome.
No, sorry, continue.
No, I think this was the shortcuts.
Yeah, basically, I think that those are my favorites. I can't think of any others right now.
There was others, but it was like,
there were so many.
Yes, they are good, but this is the ones that they are brilliant, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now you, Dante, you started talking with Derek, and Derek said you guys had just been going back and forth on horror movies. What have you guys been talking about?
What do you mean? Sorry, didn't understand.
Oh, okay, sorry. Like Derek said, you guys have been collaborating, or not necessarily collaborating, but you guys, I guess, have really been hitting it off, according to what Derek has told me. So I was just wondering, like, have you, what was some of the topics that you guys have been talking about? Like, have you guys been just basically shooting the shit about horror movies or something like that? And let me know, by the way, if I say anything that you guys don't understand or anything like that.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I think usually we talk about horror movies, me and Derek. We talked a lot about the ABC's contest. You know, some of the submissions, the ones he liked, the ones I liked, the ones we didn't like. He asked me about the movies in Brazil. I think. I mean, he asked if there are a lot of horror movies happening in Brazil, and I said the same thing as we said to you. I mean, there are not a lot of horror movies happening here. I guess that was it. I mean, there's more, obviously, but I can't think of it now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, okay. I just thought I'd shoot that question out there. Yeah, Derek is really huge fans of you guys. He's something else too. He's hilarious.
Cool.
Yeah. So how would you guys describe your filmmaking process? So when you're on set, both of you guys are director. Are you both like standing next to each other the whole time, or are you doing different things on set at each time, or what's going on there?
Um, this was the first time we co-directed,
Yes.
and we were always together. Like on every decision, we were like standing next to each other, like directing the actors, like choosing the camera angles, everything basically.
Yeah.
All the decisions were made like.
Oh, is it? And did you give your DP some freedom, or like was there a lot of collaboration between the three of you there?
A lot of collaboration.
A lot of collaboration, but I mean, we showed her a couple of references, mostly from Trick or Treat. I mean, as far as the lighting is concerned, like mixing like orange lights and with blue lights to make a contrast. We showed her the references, and she just like understood everything.
Yeah.
So from that point on, it was very easy. I don't think there was like a single moment where she like lit the set and we were like, no, we don't like it, like change it because we don't think that fits the movie. She just basically understood everything we wanted to like get through with the cinematography.
That's awesome. So what would you say there's anything that you took away from this short in terms of like lessons learned or like even like the little slightest thing, like anything at all that you would take away from this short?
Yes, a lot of things.
So many things. Do you want to start?
It was the first time that we had a lot of rules to follow, you know?
Yeah.
Like we have 3 minutes, we have to start from the black and then end in the black. And it was very hard, you know, to understand that when you are shooting a movie that has only 3 minutes, 10 seconds, it has to means a lot, you know.
Yeah.
And so this was like for me the greatest lesson of all, you know. Like 3 minutes, every single shot has to count to tell the story.
Yeah. What else? I don't know. We had a crazy experience with our main actor, the one who plays Van Helsing.
Yeah.
It's a long story, but I'll try to make it short. I worked with him on my last movie that I directed, and we thought about making a movie with Van Helsing. He was like the first option.
Yes.
And basically the only option, the only guy we said, you know, this is the guy to play this part. But we heard that he was very sick, so maybe he wouldn't be able to do the movie. So we went to his house. We had a meeting. We like said everything that was gonna happen in this movie, like all the scenes, his character, everything. And he was very sick. He was very fragile.
Yeah.
But he said, "Yeah, I'm on it. I'm gonna do it." He's kind of a big actor. He's been doing like movies and theater and television for like 40 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Even though I'm very sick, I'm gonna do it." So he said, "Cool." And then like some weeks passed, and on the week before we shot the movie, he got like very worse. He got sick. He got even worse.
So he went to the hospital.
Yeah, he was like in the hospital for the whole week, and like one day before his scenes, before his part of the shoot, he went to the doctors and he said like, "Well, sorry, but I have to leave because I have to do a movie." And the doctor said, "Well, you're not good, you know, to go out and make a movie.
You cannot leave this hospital."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he said, "No, I'm gonna do it. I mean, I don't care what you say, because this is what I do, you know. I love doing movies, I love acting, and I'm gonna do it." So one crazy thing that happened was on the second day of shooting was the day that he was supposed to come up and like do his scenes. And when he got to the set, he had to like come down some stairs to like put on his costume and everything. And he could barely come down the stairs, you know.
Yes.
There were like 5 people helping him to like go down one step every like 5 minutes.
He was very, very sick.
Yeah. He was way worse than when we saw him like 2 weeks earlier. So when we saw that, we immediately said we have to change the final act.
Everything has to change because in the original story, it was supposed to have like they supposed to have like a fight, you know.
Yeah.
Van Helsing against the vampire, a very physical one. You know? But when we saw him, we're like, okay, this is not gonna happen. We have to change everything in like half an hour. We have to change the entire movie.
Yeah. So basically, while he was like putting on his costumes, like testing his costumes, me, Rodrigo, and Rafael, which is one of the screenwriters and the first assistant director, we went outside and we said, guys, we have like 20 minutes to come up with a new final act and like choose the new shots, you know, the new camera angles. So that was crazy. I mean, that was a very good experience because we basically learned how to like adapt to the circumstances on like a very, very short notice, you know. I mean, the whole final act.
That is crazy. That's awesome.
I mean, the whole final act that you see on Mailbox. I mean, with Van Helsing on the chair and the crossbow like in his lap, hidden in his lap. That was all new. I mean, the dialogues are the same, the dialogues that he has with the vampire, but the whole like physical thing was completely different, and we had to like do it in 20 minutes while he was like putting on his costume. So that was a crazy experience.
And I think it was perhaps the most important one.
Yeah.
Because when you do this kind of job with actually no money and against everything, you have to make quick decisions, you know.
Yeah.
You have to think and say, okay, this is not gonna happen. This is all I have. What can I do? You know. You have to do the best with what you have.
Yeah.
So this was like crazy, you know. Like, oh, okay. If I can think about a new story in 10 minutes, I can do movies. You know?
Yeah. And that's basically what happened. And the crazy part is. We think that, you know, this new final act is so much better than, you know, the previous final act could ever have been, you know, with a physical fight between them. So that was a crazy experience and a great lesson for us.
And a great lesson. And it's like something more, it's something bigger than this short, you know.
Yeah.
Like this actor was really sick. He died after 1 week.
Yeah, after 1 week we shot.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died. So it was like, oh my God, this guy really loves this, you know.
Yeah.
Like I hope that I have the same love for cinema when I'm old and dying, because it's bigger. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is love.
Yeah. That was maybe the greatest lesson we had making this movie. I mean, a lesson about like. Complete dedication to what you love, you know.
Yes.
That's what this guy did. I mean, he could barely walk, and he went like miles from his house to shoot for like 3 days during the night.
Yeah.
An exhausting experience, and he did it. And he was always like saying hello to everybody, always in a good mood. He was never complaining. I mean, that was amazing. I mean, that was a lesson in like dedication to doing what you love, basically.
Yes. His name is Enio Gonçalves.
Yeah.
I just have to say that. He was a great man.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. That's an amazing story, like that you guys got to. He's in his last movie is your guys' short film.
Yeah.
And that would have been. And it's too bad he didn't get to see the reaction to the short, because everyone just loves it. I'm sure that would have put a big smile on his face as well.
Yeah, it was so sad. I mean, he died, and the next day we like put Mailbox on the internet. So I mean, 1 day after he died, we like completed the movie. So he never even got to see it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, well, still, that is an amazing story. That's exactly what you guys said. It just goes to show you the power of cinema. And exactly what you guys said. I hope I'm like that guy and like Ridley Scott when I'm 70 years old and have the passion to keep making movies. So a question I've been kind of asking everyone on the podcast is, what did your parents think of your movie?
Actually, my mother and my father, they were like, oh my God, oh my God. And like, oh. But this was great for me, you know. Like, yes, that's the reaction that I wanted.
Yeah, my parents had kind of like the same reaction, but they were more like, this is fucking cool, this is fucking awesome. They weren't so scared. I wish they were, but I mean, they were cool. Anyway.
That's awesome. So that's I've kind of run through the gamut of my questions. So before we kind of leave off, I just got a couple more.
Sure.
What are you guys' thoughts on? I don't know how big it is for you guys down there, but for us, they're really pushing the video on demand aspect to a lot of the indie movies up here right now. And you mentioned it before with iTunes, how a lot of these lower budgeted movies are just going right to iTunes instead. So what are your guys' thoughts on that compared to, like, I know before I went to high school or film school, sorry, my goal was like, okay, go to film school, learn how to do this stuff, and then get out of film school, raise money, and make a movie, put it in the theater. But now it's so much harder to get money because you have to kind of have a name to you to get those government grants. But YouTube is just such a huge thing. The only real big difference is it's done on the major cheap. So what are you guys' thoughts on making films essentially for YouTube and Netflix and that type of stuff?
Well, this is the perfect question for you.
Actually, it's very difficult. I'm gonna try to explain that. Before M is for Mailbox, we did a series, a web series. It's called Nerd of the Dead, and I'm the producer and the lead actor. And we did it for the internet, for the YouTube, for people to see. And we were kind of hoping, like, we're gonna have fans, people gonna like our jobs, our work, like people gonna love the series, and they're gonna want to see more, like a second season. And it was like a big hit here in Brazil,
Yeah.
like a big hit. It was like a great thing. We went to the papers, to TV shows, to everything,
Yeah.
Like we have fan base, fan clubs.
Yeah. The first episode of this web series has like 300,000 views on YouTube.
Holy crap, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we did it like ourselves. We had literally no money. All the money came from Rodrigo and Chris, which is the director of the web series. But the thing is,
that the reality here in Brazil is very different than your reality with internet and Netflix and everything. Here we don't have like the space for that. We don't have the money, to do things for the internet. The Netflix is not buying things, it's not producing things, or actually they are, but like it's like bad things.
Yeah.
Very very cheap things, So it's like, fuck. But it's a great thing. It's a great thing because we do movies because we want people to see our movies. And with the internet, we just can put it there and people are gonna see it. But the main thing is money. How do you stay in the internet and still got money to do movies? That's the great challenge here in Brazil, Like, okay, I can do a movie and I can just go to the YouTube and a lot of people are gonna see it. But how do I get the money to do another movie? You understand?
Yeah, same place. A lot of that's very, very similar to up here too. Like I know, well, that's with us too. We haven't made a web series, but we're trying to think of ways that we can essentially put movies on the internet while still making a profit. I know Vimeo has a service where you can put your own movie up on Vimeo, and then you could charge a rental fee, and then you keep 90% of the fee or something like that. So yeah, it's like in film has changed so much since we were much younger. So I'm always curious to see what everyone's thoughts are about it, because I've talked to some other people where they're like, oh, this VOD thing, it still hasn't fully worked itself out yet or not. Well, I personally think I think it's going to be the way of the future. Like if I were to turn the camera to the left, you would see a shelf full of DVDs, and I'm just looking to sell off all of those because I find everyone wants to go the digital route, and I find that is definitely the most convenient route to go, and it's just kind of trying to figure out exactly how it's all going to essentially play out, because there's just so many different venues right now where you can watch movies, and it's not like a DVD or back in the old days where it's like you wanted to watch this movie, grab the VHS. Well, now you have multiple options, both physical and streaming. So, yeah, I just like to hear you guys' thoughts on that. And speaking of that, actually, my last question is, what would be some films that you would suggest to anyone that we may not have seen yet, whether they're Brazilian or from whatever country they are? Anything that you think would be worth watching?
Wow.
I have to say The Driller Killer. Is that?
Yeah, The Driller Killer.
The Driller Killer. It's a movie. It's Abel Ferrara's movie, and it's really cool.
Yeah. It's kind of a horror movie.
Yes, kind of horror.
From the 70s.
Actually, it is a horror.
Yeah, it is a horror movie. It's kind of like Taxi Driver, but it's more gory. It's more like it has more like a grindhouse feel to it. It's an amazing movie.
And the first shot is unbelievable. It's like the black screen with just written, this movie should be played loud.
Yeah.
And I think this is really cool, This movie should be played loud because it has a lot of scream and punk rock music, and it's very dirty, and it's like you can see, And the Abel Ferrara is also the lead character, the main character, and it's like amazing. It's like it's so much power. It's like it's real.
Yeah.
What was that movie called again? Driller Killer?
Yeah. Driller Killer.
I gotta check that out because I love Taxi Driver.
Yeah, Driller Killer has a very big cult status to it right now. I don't know. I mean, speaking of like modern horror movies, we watch a lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to say that one of my favorite horror movies from the past few years is The Woman, which is an American movie directed by Lucky McKee, I think. That's an amazing movie. Oh, I mean, I don't know. There's so many movies.
Yeah.
I can't even think of like a list. There's a French movie called Martyrs.
Yeah,
awesome.
Everyone's been mentioning Martyrs. Yeah.
Yeah, Martyrs is amazing. Yeah. The Divide, which is an American movie directed by a French director. I don't know. The Spanish zombie movie Wreck, which is 2007.
Juan de los
Muertos, which is a Cuban zombie movie.
Very good.
One
of the Dead.
One of the Dead. Speaking of which, the director of One of the Dead is one of the directors on ABC's too.
Oh, nice. I know.
Yeah.
I know. When we just found out that Cronenberg's kid, Brandon Cronenberg, is one of the directors on ABC's as well, and so is oh man, the name is slipping me. But there's another Canadian horror. David Lynch's daughter, I believe. I think she has a short in ABC to Death too as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, one of the 25 directors, already in the movie that excites me the most is the Spanish director called Alexis Iglesias. He did The Last Circus. I don't know if you saw it. It's from 2010.
I have it. I have a DVD of it on the shelf. I have yet to watch it though. My buddy from Montreal actually gave it to me and was like, "Watch this movie. It's crazy."
Yeah, it's a masterpiece.
It's amazing.
For me, it's one of the best movies of the 21st century. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, man. There's so many movies.
Watch everything. Everything you can watch, you should watch.
For sure, I totally agree with that. So when's? Oh, sorry. Continue.
Sorry. Oh, I don't know. I mean, there are own movies that I really love, but I don't know. I mean, we would spend hours talking about movies that we love. I mean, so I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. So when's the contest end?
December 15th. It's like the next Sunday.
6 days from now.
Yeah.
And do you know who is? So I guess they brought on a different set of judges to watch the top 12 shorts.
Yeah, the judges that will decide on the winner are the 25 directors that are like making movies for ABCs of Death too.
That's awesome. Well, I hope you guys win because to me, you guys totally deserve it. I watched a handful of the shorts, and yours is by far my favorite. The cinematography. I was the DP for ours, so I'm big into the cinematography stuff. Your guys' film looks amazing, and that first time when you watch it and you're waiting, you're like, M is for Mailbox, and you totally forget about the fact that you're supposed to be watching an M movie, and you're just watching it, and then all of a sudden the reveal comes at the end. You're like, oh. Shit, man, that was awesome. That was crazy. That was awesome. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like, yeah, it was just when I first saw it, I was just like, yeah, this is in like a whole other league. Like, this movie's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. How did you guys like working with the Red? Is that your first time working with the Red?
No.
Actually, it was the second time.
Yeah, the second time.
We did Night of the Dead with a Red.
Yeah.
Actually, it was really nice. It was really cool, you know. After that, we were working with the 5D, you know, 5D Mark II.
Yeah.
But the Red is another league of camera.
Yeah.
It's like, well, nice, really nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that I really like about the Red camera is that it gives you a lot of like space for post production, you know. Since we film it in like what 4K?
4K.
Since we film it on 4K, we like work with digital zooms like in the post production.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much you can do with the color grading, everything.
Yeah.
It's a very good camera to work with.
It was the Red one you guys worked with?
Yes, it was the Red one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were supposed to shoot it with the Red Epic, but in the last minute it didn't work out, and we got the Red one. Which is basically the same. I mean, there's differences, of course, but I mean, it was fine for us.
Yeah, I've worked with the Red a couple times too. Yeah, I find there's really no difference between that one and the Epic, besides frame rate, frames per second, and the weight of the camera. That's really the only difference I really saw. But that's also you guys. Did you guys work a lot with the 5D Mark II?
A lot, like 2 or 3 years only with 5D.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we shot ours on the 6D, the step down from the 5D Mark II, or I guess the replacement for the 5D Mark II.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Continue.
I don't know. I mean, ever since we did Nerd of the Dead, I mean, the Mailbox was like our next project. So the last 2 projects, I mean, the last a year and a half, I think.
A year and a half.
Yeah, we've been working with the Red. Yeah.
Nice. And so I know I kind of asked you before, any projects coming down the pipeline, any shorts, or is it mostly you guys are going to kind of focus on a feature film for the next little bit?
Yeah, we're focusing on feature films now. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
There are some things happening, and maybe we'll be able to do a feature film like very soon. That's what we hope.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Well, that's awesome. If you bring it up to Canada, let me know, and I would love to go to that premiere because that would be amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is there any website or anything you guys want to promote to the audience, like your Twitter, any website where you post most of your work, anything like that?
Oh, we could say the fan page for Nerd of the Dead.
The fan page.
Yeah, you basically have to go to Facebook and I don't know, it's facebook.com/Nerd of the Dead. I think that'll lead you to our page.
And watch the web series. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a cool web series. We're proud of it.
I love it.
So just Nerd of the Dead on YouTube?
Yeah.
Nerd of the Dead on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you can see me killing some zombies.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, guys. Thank you very much for being on the podcast. I had a great time, and hopefully this isn't the last time I will talk to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely not. And thank you very much for inviting us to do it.
It was a pleasure.
Hey, no problem. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying a little social experiment out where I'm trying to kind of talk to everyone in this contest. I know I'm going to be talking with some guys behind Merman and Manure, and yeah, it's been really cool just trying to kind of reach out and talk to people like yourselves who we never would have ever met each other probably ever if it wasn't for the internet. So it's just really cool to do something like that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. I'll just stop recording in just a second. But yeah, thank you guys so much for doing this. I will let you guys know when the podcast is up. It's going to be on iTunes. So you'll probably see it up on Facebook, but I'll send you guys the direct link as well when it's finally up. It's probably going to be up in about, I want to say probably about 2 weeks. So I'm kind of just spacing the episodes by a week or so. So the magnetic tape one's about to come out this week, and then next week will be your guys' episode.
Cool,
Nice.
cool. Oh, and let us know about the magnetic tape podcast. I'd love to hear it.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'll be posting it on Facebook and whatnot numerous times. So yeah, definitely check it out there. It's going to be on iTunes. If you go to iTunes and type in dromezonepod, then the podcast pops up.
Okay.
Nice.
Perfect. Cool.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys. It was awesome talking to you.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you a lot.
All right, until next